If Trump fucking could, he would. They're executing anti-poverty campaigners, but my God, they're doing it with some style. Let's have some balls and do guess the transsexual. Hello people, welcome back to the Steel Show. This week we are covering the disastrous US World Cup, the banning of free speech in UK, but firstly, a bone I have to pick with TfL. TfL, I support the strikes, but I didn't realise you were going to be doing them on days I needed to come into town. Nobody consulted me. I think I should be sat in RMT unions and be able to go, no, but I have things to do that day. Doesn't bother me if some fucking banker can't get into the city. Doesn't bother me one bit. I hope it's hard for them, all those people working in the city of London. I love nothing more than seeing people who have gone to university, got a degree, got a job for Deloitte, struggling, stood there in the rain as it comes down, ruining their day as they struggle to get back to fucking Surrey. Oh, I love that shit. But you got me today. And what for, TfL? But anyway, let's hope that the drivers get their pay from 70 to 80k a year. God knows they fucking need it. I'm always up for people sticking. I never understand why people in this country are against people getting paid well. We hate it. The idea that someone demands a quality of life in this country. If you ever listen to like LBC and the phone-ins, when some teachers go on strike because they spend every day having to work with the kids. And I don't know if you've seen the kids of this country sitting around on BMXs vaping. They have to work with them. We just have to be intimidated by them every now and then during summer. But I have to work with them every day. Every now and then the teacher's like, I would like to be able to put the heating on during winter. And people call in, it's a fucking disgrace. It's a disgrace. Sit there cold like me. We've got a World Cup to look forward to, so at least there's that. You looking forward to this absolute shit show? Nobody seems to know anything about it, what's going to go on. It seems to be very disorganised. The only person who has organised anything for this World Cup is the mass shooter currently planning their event. The mass shooting that's going to happen, this person who is currently stockpiling weapons and ammunition, they're prepped for it. They're the most prepped person there is. And there will fucking be one. And then there's going to be a minute's silence during the games. And FIFA will still use that to sell more advertising space. There'll be the minute silence going on. And then there'll just be a Pizza Hut logo or something will flash up. But it'll be tasteful. Colonel Sanders logo, or KFC will do an advertisement. But the Colonel will be sad and he'll be wearing a black suit because he's in mourning. But that is like a worry for this World Cup. It's in a country that is in political turmoil. Parts of the country want to kill other parts. You have ICE agents dragging people out of their homes. They're working at the airports, not letting people in. And the World Cup is going to be there. And not only is it going to be there, it's such a indictment of what America, FIFA, and this late stage of capitalism we're in right now. Look, you guys know me. I'm not against people making money. I'm not against capitalism. But this late stage capitalism we're in is going to ruin everything. And FIFA and America working together is the embodiment of that. It's a personification of it. Trump is the personification of late stage capitalism. There is no incentive for like actual football fans to go. I'm an actual football fan. I've been going to watch Crystal Palace since I was 3-4 years old, against my will. My dad would take me there. And that's the point of football. And you learn a lot about life going to football. You learn about things like injustice. You learn things like joy. You learn misery. You learn despair. You sit there in the rain as you're losing 3-1 to Colchester and you want to leave. And I'll go to my dad. I'm 5 years old. Dad, I want to go home. I want to go. And my dad, no, you're learning an important lesson today. That sometimes life is fucking shit. And that was important for me to grow up with and gave me that beautiful optimism that I've carried within me to all of my life. There was a guy I used to sit next to at football when I was about 5-6 years old in the Upper Holmesdale, who at various points in the game, regardless of we were winning, we were losing, we were drawing, would just go, ref, you're a even if the ref hadn't done anything wrong. And then the guy would turn to my dad and go, sorry about that, Mark, and I was young, and then do it again. And so I had to be like, what's a and my dad would be like, that's a word you can never say. And then one time my mum took me, and my mum hates that word. My lefty feminist mum hates that word. And this man sat there, and my mum went to my dad, is that what you're taking our son to every Saturday? And my dad went, yeah. And she went, you're a terrible father. That's an important young British male experience to have, is going to the football and seeing what football is about. And football is about a bunch of adults getting together and behaving in an abhorrent way. It is about going down there and taking your week out on a 22-year-old for not tracking back properly. The life of a football player is hard. I have friends who were in the academy. They didn't have any fun teenage years. While I was out smoking weed, you know, what teenage experience, you get a bottle of vodka, finger someone in a park. They didn't get to do that. Their life was just going to school and playing football, and it still didn't work out. All the training, all the strength and conditioning, the diet, it didn't work out. If you make it as a footballer, you have sacrificed so much. All the money you're making, and I'm talking at the top level, never mind the lower levels, at the top level, the Premier League, the money you're making, you've got to put away. There's nothing for you to spend it on. It's a very short amount of time where you can make a lot of money, and then they go mad in their 30s and gamble it all away because they've never had to be adults. The reason you get paid that money is so a big fat man can yell, you're a at you, because he's had a shit week. That's the price. That's the deal. That's the trade-off. I have mental health issues I'm not dealing with. I'm not allowed to yell at my wife anymore because of woke. So now I go to the football and I yell it at Tyreek Mitchell. That's what it's about. And what this World Cup is doing is it's taking it away from the working man, who is unfortunately going to have to go back to hitting his wife. Who are we going to take our weeks out on? We're not going to go to therapy. We're not going to talk to our boys. We're going to take it out on our family. Domestic abuse is going to go up this World Cup because no one can... Firstly, the games are on too late, which I know isn't the fault of... as much as I'd love to blame Trump and everyone at FIFA, that is fair. But this World Cup has like this air of... I don't know anyone who's too excited for it. I know a few people who are going. They're a little bit concerned about the mass shootings, which is a big American problem that no one seems to have ever done anything about. Keeps happening and everyone goes, well, what can you do? We don't even fucking hear about it anymore. At least you've got to kill 10 people for me to hear about the mass shooting. If I hear there's a mass shooting and I click on it, 4 dead in Colorado Mall, I don't give a fuck. That's pussy shit. Call me back when a good one, when there's some good numbers involved. So this World Cup is a giant indictment of capitalism, FIFA, and America, where it's overreaching. They're pricing people out of the games. It's done in a vacuous way to take as much money as possible. Can't buy from reseller sites, which, by the way, touting sites. They fucking said touting was illegal, and now they've just allowed touting sites about. And now FIFA's got involved. I don't know if you've seen this. You can buy a ticket on FIFA. If you want to sell the ticket, you have to sell it on FIFA's ticketing site, where FIFA get 20% of the amount you resell it for, but FIFA also get 20% of the amount the person's bought it for, even though you've both already paid the money you've paid for the fucking ticket and you want to sell it on. So they're grabbing money from every angle. The state of New Jersey, I think it's the MetLife Stadium, the trains they're running to the stadium, because you can't walk anywhere because it's America. It's not like Europe where we bombed everywhere and then built a stadium in the middle of it because we went, well, we've got some room to build stuff now. You can't walk to anywhere. There's no public transport. They run a train to MetLife Stadium where I think you just have to get off and like literally the train just opens and you jump out. And now the state of New Jersey are charging $120 a ticket when it's usually $20 because they want to recoup as much money as possible. What about this says that it's about the fans or the people? And it's not. It's the cry of a dying empire trying to get as much as possible. And this is what the World Cup's become. And this is nothing new, by the way. The World Cup has always been involved in sports washing. All the time, during games, we have to see the pride flag. And I'm not against this shit, right? Here's my thing. I'm against performative activism. Rainbow laces, pride flag corner flags, I think it's a good thing. I think there's some gay people in the crowd or some young kids who are gay or are trans and they're scared to come out in these uber masculine environments, and we show that it's okay to be who you are. But then you host the World Cup in a country where it's illegal. It's going to be in Saudi Arabia where it's illegal to be gay. So that's where you're meant to have the fucking pride flags. That's where you're meant to take a stance against these things. And FIFA go, we don't want any politics of it. We want to keep it out of it. And then Donald Trump's in every fucking promo. He's going to be there at the. He was there. He didn't get out of the way of Cole Palmer lifting the Club World Cup. We don't want politics in sport, but we want this fucking egomaniac to come in here who's in the Epstein files for where there's all manner of pedophiles. Oh, it's okay. We'll have the pedophiles. We don't want politics in sport, but we'll have a few pedophiles. God forbid there's a Palestine flag. God forbid. We don't want to talk about this touchy subject, but we do want a few touchy people there. It's a fucking disaster. And I'm going to watch as much of it as I possibly can because I'm a hypocrite. It's like with the Qatar World Cup. I thought it shouldn't have been there, but fuck, what a World Cup it was. And this is the problem. World Cups are fucking great. World Cups are about being at a barbecue with people you don't know and you all tune in to watch Uzbekistan, Uruguay. And that's what's great about it. And you remember where you were for those moments. That's what's brilliant about World Cups. You get to see countries that you've never heard of do the impossible. We all know that England-Cape Verde loss is coming. We all know that's going, and it's going to be hard to find a Cape Verde restaurant to smash up. But I trust the England fans. I have so much faith in us. We could potentially face Uzbekistan in the round of 16. I don't know many Uzbeki restaurants, but England fans will fucking hunt one down when we go out on penalties to them and show them what for. How dare your country beat us at sport? This sports washing thing that goes on within the World Cup, it's like I said, it's nothing new. In I believe it was 78 or 76, there was a World Cup in Argentina. Their president at the time, I believe, was having people thrown out of helicopters for being left wing. Which, if Trump fucking could, he would. That would be the halftime show. By the way, the fact that there's a fucking halftime show, and God bless the BBC and ITV for not showing it. But yeah, human rights groups estimate that 30,000 people were disappeared during the period that lasted from 1976 to 83. Some were active militants in groups like ERP and Montenegro, although the vast majority were peaceful activists, trade unionists, student activists, critical journalists, and artists and other individuals active in the church or anti-poverty campaigns. Well, thank God they were killed. And in the middle of such destruction, Vidal, the president at the time, and his military cronies took it upon themselves to host the most controversial World Cup since Benito Mussolini, Italy, staged in 1938. So the World Cup has always been about going to a country that's doing shady fucking shit and getting us all to tune in and going, hey, they're not doing shady shit. That's what it's always been about. And at least the Argentinians would have had some fucking flair about it. Like, yes, they're executing anti-poverty campaigners, but my God, they're doing it with some style. They're Argentinian. They're a beautiful, passionate people. Maradona, Messi. Britain needs to host the World Cup because we're moving towards authoritarianism as this week. Hassan Piker and Cenk Uygur, I believe his name's Cenk Uygur. I don't know whether to say it like Uyghur or Uyghur, but I know he runs the channel, the Young Turks, which is a leftist YouTube channel, though named after the people who did the Armenian genocide, which are like all left-wing things. You go, oh, we the good guys? Oh, no, we also killed a bunch of people. That's what being left-wing is. Like, hey, I thought we were eradicating poverty. Oh, no, we're killing all the poor people. Okay, right, all right. The Home Office has confirmed that the electronic travel authorization of both men has been cancelled because their presence in the UK may not be conducive to the public good. Hassan Piker and Cenk were coming over to do a speech at the Oxford Union, and because I believe they're saying because they've said some stuff critical of Israel, God forbid you dare criticize the great nation of Israel, glory to Benjamin Netanyahu, he's doing a bunch of good, because we want our YouTube channel to stay up, that you now have to say that. So Miss Rachel, she's a YouTuber who, like myself, is a kids' YouTube channel. She's big into the raising humanitarian aid for children in Gaza who don't have access to medicine, water, but do have access to drone strikes. And she thinks that that's a little bit wrong and received a lot of backlash for it. I personally think she should go to Israel and answer for her crimes for not wanting children to be blown to smithereens. You absolute fucking callous bitch. Have her channel taken down immediately. This is a problem with doing comedy now, is we have to be on channels like this. I originally pitched this show to Channel 4, and because I say things like that I've said through these last few seconds. Drone strikes. Glory to Benjamin Netanyahu. Fucking callous bitch. I took it to Channel 4 and they said, absolutely not. And then they went, we've got some great things in the pipeline now, which I don't know if you've seen the comedy they're doing there, which I've been part of, but they've got great shows where you like guess the Irish person and you guess the bouncer. Channel 4 used to have Brass Eye and these amazing political shows which would take on, you know, the sort of current zeitgeist within this world. Now we're guessing who the Irish person is, which is good. That's a good use of all the comedic talent in this country at the moment to guess who is Irish. It's powerful power stuff. Let's have some balls and do guess the transsexual. And you have me, Mike Rice, and Vittorio, and we're guessing who the transsexual is. That would be fun. You tune into that. Now, we are sort of walking into a bit of authoritarianism here in the UK, but we're doing it in a very British way where we're making it really boring. Argentina, throwing people out of helicopters, regardless what you think of it, fun way to do it. That is kind of cool. I'm against doing it. I'm a leftist. I would have been thrown out of the helicopter, but fuck me, it'd have been fucking sick. The beginning bit of that is fun. You get to go for a helicopter ride. The last bit of it's going to suck, but I bet there's a few seconds on the way down you're enjoying yourself. I'll get a couple flips in just because I'm built like that, man. The Tommy Robinson March, they banned speakers as well under the guise of hate speech. Now, again, I don't like these people, but I don't think we should be banning everyone. We banned Kanye West. Again, I can understand why they did that, but I don't know why they did it. I do know why they did it. It's fucking tricky, but this is starting to get to the point now where it's very English and very, oh, bloody hell, I guess we better do authoritarianism. Oh, crumbs. It's so English that we can't even do authoritarianism in a fun fucking way. Boots on the ground, people breaking into your home. It's just, oh, right, did you tweet that? Oh, God, guess you better go to jail then. Sorry about that, old boy. I know Cenk, and I like Hassan Piker from the 5 clips of him I've seen. So I think I featured on the Young Turks channel one time because I did a routine about Donald Trump, and then someone sent me it going, you know, you're on their channel. So I was on their channel, so they can do no wrong in my eyes. It'd be so funny if I've said that and then the next video is just them denying the Holocaust. So yeah, we're doing authoritarianism. They're not allowed to speak at the Oxford Union. I think Tommy Robinson was invited. He's already done an address at the Oxford Union. This is the thing, free speech. We're meant to have it. But instead of that now, we're just going to guess who Irish people are. That's what this nation's going to become. It's just going to be us guessing who the Irish person is. That's what's going to be the next Prime Minister's question, is just Keir Starmer having to guess who the Irish person is. That should be the halftime show at this year's World Cup. Just a bunch of people having to go to go, oh, I grew up in fucking Cork. That's my Irish accent for you. And they go, oh, I think it's number 4. Before Dembele goes out and puts a fucking hat-trick past us. That's the show for this week, people. The World Cup's going to be a disaster, but by God, we're all going to tune into it. The mass shooting at it is going to be fucking horrendous. We're walking into authoritarianism. TFL have fucked my journey home. Let us know in the comments who you think the Irish person is. I've been Elliot Steel. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Take care.